when you're on a path of greatness, it's gonna feel a lot of times like it's really lonely. A lot of things aren't gonna make sense. You're gonna be like, is this really what I want to do? It's like, yes, this is what you said you want to do, so let's do it. Let's go get after it. But it's not as easy as it seems. If it was so easy, I was talking to my buddy that freelances. He does freelance art for his career. I recently jumped into just off the ship of the corporate life, and now I'm finding my path once again, changing my interest. I love music, so in the meantime of working on music, I'm just going to work as much as adequately enough so I can pursue this music career and have enough hours in the day to where I'm continuously improving at music, right? And keeping my mind on that and not on, dang, I gotta get to sleep because I gotta wake up tomorrow again. Dang, I got to sleep. Dang, I gotta just eat any food because I'm gonna be hungry at work. And I don't have time because I'm just go, 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 go all day. So this is really a transitionary period for me, and I'm fully vulnerable to it. I'm gonna make mistakes along the way. I'm gonna meet people that are gonna help me along the way. There's already people that are helping me along the way, but I'm gonna meet also opposition to what I believe in, and you'll meet a lot of you're gonna meet a lot of backlash on the way to greatness because, like I said, if most people aren't doing it, of course, most people are gonna be looking at you like, "Are you sure this is the right move? Do you have everything in order?" And the honest truth that you want to say is like, "No, I'm not. I don't have everything in order." And yes, this is a shot in the dark in some ways. However, my vision is propelling me for this greatness. Now, I make mistakes along the way of being a little bit too critical on, you know, how other people live their life because that's just me and my ego and me wanting to kind of, in some ways, like get back in a way at like people that just don't think like me, which I'm coming to terms with it, and that's just wrong. That's not how I'm going to bring the things that I want to in my life faster and more adequately. So I've had a more conscious effort, especially in these literally the last 3 days, to just accept that not everything and everybody is going to be wanting to pursue like the highest level of greatness, right? And like that's freeing to say without having so much attachment to like why. We understand like if I understand why, I don't need to always harp on the whys of society and why society is built in a way to make everybody think the same way, right? Because we know it, innately, whether you speak on the topic or not, whether you work a 9 to 5 job that even if you love it or not, whether you work that job, we all know it innately. Like everybody's meant to work the same way, retire at the same age, enjoy the last part of their life at the same age. There's no reason to harp on it. So this next chapter of my life in pursuing music and just finding myself, right? I went through a phase of finding myself when I was super just broke and just got out of college, got my first job, or actually I got my first job before I was even out of college. Um, just working every day. And just, I had to just survive in a way because once you get to a point in your adulthood, you don't want your parents taking care of everything. So I just chose the option to survive by myself. I was barely getting paid enough to really make great meals after work or even enough to just make rent. I was making rent pretty well, but eating very simply. My diet was very simple. I'm going back to a more simple diet after exiting my job. Um, but like that's when life kind of hits for me, is living the more simple life. Now, reaching milestones is awesome because I still have milestones that uh, I know I'm going to reach, and I know it's going to be tough to get to, but I want to limit the mindset once you get to these milestones as much as possible. Because what's tricky when you hit one of your milestones is you can kind of get pushed back into a prior way of living where you're kind of in autopilot. I spent a lot of time in my last corporate job working as a designer in autopilot. Going back to eating unhealthy or buying things that were not necessary. Because my goal in this life is not only to have materialistic wealth and notoriety. That's all cool, and that's something that I'm striving for, right? But at the same time, there's a balance to it, and at the same time, there's even points where I want to reject all of it, because I know when we leave this place, we don't bring any of that with us. So having a career that is very materialistic and you get kind of dragged down into, what the idea of this society is, like making a lot of money, buying a house, having X, Y, and Z dogs, having 3 kids, like that. That's not what my goal is. So this next era, it's gonna be pretty interesting for me, man. It's like I'm excited for it. You also get scared about it too, but as long as you're putting in the work every day towards it, and you're rejecting, you have to reject a lot of the outside world and the outside opinions, because it's your life, it's your destiny, it's your path. So you must know yourself. You must be positive in knowing yourself. And you still have to love. You still have to do as much as you can to just love the next person. Whether they're against you, whether it seems like they just don't understand you, it's important to just love. And so that's the message I want to give. Love the next person as much as possible. Keep working hard on your journey, work hard on your path. And when you're chasing greatness, it's so interesting because you understand the inner workings of things to a higher level. You start wanting to read more about how did society form. You start wanting to read more about everything. Like you're like, how is the world even here today? How does society actually operate? Why are the things that are pushed on us? Why is a lot of what we are given not actually beneficial to our growth or our spiritual ascension? But I'm going to take a step back on being critical on it openly, because I see that, at least at this point in my life, it's not going to help me to really get mad at how society operates. I'll still speak on it and I'll observe it and I'll watch it, but speaking openly on it, it usually ends up hurting people more than, to me at least, what I've noticed, it hurts people more than it's going to heal them, because I need to be more rational in terms of thinking of other people's feelings and how they live their life when I'm speaking, right? So that's what I'm learning. At the same time, I'm not here to cater to, everybody's opinions and just agree with everything, because I've never been that way. But you can do a job, and this is speaking to myself, you can do a better job of catering to how everybody thinks and what everybody wants, than always just being critical on society and, being like, you shouldn't live that way, because everybody has their own way to live. So that's my message for today. The reason why chasing greatness awakens your senses, and basically it blocks out the hindrances. I got my notes right here. It blocks out the hindrances, because knowledge is power. And once you start seeking power, whatever the lane is, you can be have any type of profession. When you're truly seeking knowledge, you're going to start wondering different things about the world. And it's up to you if you really want to actually study those things. For me, it's important to me to kind of study and learn not only what's in my craft or what's in my lane, but just have a little bit of information about every lane. But moving forward, just gonna keep it more to myself. Inner conversations with maybe a few people here and there is cool, but it's not like I'm gonna go and try to fake my life. Try to fake like I like a lot of things about society and how we operate, but it's just a different way, different take on how to perform in this life. And just do more self-reflection. Have inner groups that think like-minded, And then one day eventually though, I really do think I'll most likely just talk about how we can make this place better. Don't know if it's going to make a difference, because I feel like people in history since the beginning of societies have talked about the not downfall, but the flaws in it. And it's many flaws. A lot of things are backwards, but hey man, it's just where we live. It's about personal ascension. You're not going to be able to have everybody think a different way, because it's not designed that way. So trying to change a whole system as one man, it's not going to work. But a lot of people are waking up and making a conscious effort to think more for themselves, which is good. So I don't know, man. Hopefully the cycle gets broken and I get to see it in my life, where like things are just different. They're not as evil out here. But who knows? Yeah. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.